Oh, hey there, guys. How y'all doing out there in Cyberland? This is Eric and Maykus. Been a while since we've talked. I've been kind of busy getting some folks in their homes and building houses for Maykus Homes and Neighborhoods. But you know, I had a little bit of time this morning, and I thought we'd do something that I haven't had much time to do. So why don't y'all gather here around the campfire and let's do a little story time with Eric. Now this one's got a little bit of a twist. This one's got a little bit of a personal taste to it. See, a long time ago when I was young and naive, I aspired to be a good man before I realized that my limitations were going to, not quite allow me to reach that bar. And I used to do a little bit of volunteer work. Used to go down to the maximum security prisons in the Tennessee colony. Used to visit some folks in nursing homes. And even we used to go out and read to older folks at their home. And in my travels, I met a very interesting gentleman by the name of Woodrow Wilson. And no, not President Woodrow Wilson. I'm not quite that old. But this gentleman was in his late 90s, and he lived in a little bitty old town of Ellis County called Tellico. And in getting to know Woodrow, he told me a very interesting story. See, he went to school with a gentleman by the name of Clyde. Yes, Clyde Barrow of the infamous Bonnie and Clyde. And it turns out that Clyde Barrow was born just down the street from him. Now, Woodrow was a pretty interesting character because he was in his 90s when I met him, and he had never lived anywhere else except in the home where I met him. He was born there, raised there, and except for a very short time for military training, had never lived anywhere else in his entire life. But I got to talk to Woodrow, and he told me quite a few interesting stories about Mr. Clyde Barrow. And even though he was several years younger than Clyde, they attended the same two-room schoolhouse there in Tellico, Texas. Turns out that, Woodrow Wilson's father owned a farm there in Tellico, and that when Bonnie and Clyde sometimes would hide on their property back down along one of the creeks in the woods, and his father had to run them off a few times. I asked him about Clyde and what he was like in school as a young man, and you know what he said? Well, to Woodrow's credit, he wouldn't badmouth him real bad, but he just said, Clyde was just not a very nice kid. And it turns out that Clyde just was not a very nice man either. A lot of us, like me, grew up with the romantic stories of Bonnie and Clyde, Faye Dunaway playing Bonnie, and I can't remember the name of the actor, William Beatty, however you say his last name, played Clyde. And we kind of grew up with this rob from the rich and give to the poor story from the Hollywood versions of Bonnie and Clyde. But if you do a little bit of historical research, you'll find out that what Woodrow Wilson told me about Clyde not being a very nice young man was very true about both of them. Turns out, rarely did they actually rob from the rich. Most of their robberies came from little mom and pop stores, gas stations. Sometimes they only robbed people for a few dollars. And as far as giving to the poor, that just wasn't what they did with their money. They really were not very nice people. But you're probably sitting out there wondering, Eric, all of your story times have got something to do with construction, and they usually involve the Romans or Egyptians or someone else that tells us about how we got to building homes the way we did today. Well, let me tell you, my story only is related to Bonnie and Clyde because of something I'm about to show you. Let's jump out of the Jeep here and let's go take a look at something. Well, I'm right here off of Dove Road in 114, and as you can see from this marker, I'm at the location, or very near the location, where one of Bonnie and Clyde's more infamous crimes were committed. The murder of two of Grapevine's own troopers, police officers, who actually just stopped to see if the parked car needed some assistance. And for their efforts, they were killed dead. Now, how this is going to tie into Maykus Homes is just on the other side of these woods that you see right here in front of me. So I'm going to jump back in the Jeep and let's go see what's on the other side of those trees. Welcome to the Metairie. This is a neighborhood that we're going to be building 10 homes in. Like I said earlier, it's right off here. Excellent location, just a block or less off of 114, right on Dove Road. It is going to be a gorgeous neighborhood. Not quite finished yet. You can see still a little rough. We're going to build 10 homes in here. Don't quote me exact on this, but I think we're looking at homes somewhere in the 4,500 square foot range and up. Price range probably about 1.5 and up. Like I said, don't quote me on that, but that's the last rumors that I heard. We've got 10 lots, and see if I can find some of our signs in here somewhere. Here you go. This is one of our lots right here, and as you can see, look at it, it backs up to a beautiful, what's going to be a beautiful green space. Nice big trees back there. Let's see if we can find a few more. Looks like we've got another one right here up on the right that's going to be also backing up to this green space. Oh, I see another Maykus sign. Look at that. Look at that. One right there in front of us. And then another one right here to the left. Ooh, that might be my favorite one. Let me see if I can get a quick angle up in here for you guys. Backing up to the green space. Got some pretty retaining walls back there. Anyway, well guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time with Eric. Please take care out there. Be safe. Things are looking up in our nation. Maybe we will get a hold of this coronavirus and things can go back to normal pretty soon. But be safe, take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.